Panharmonicon presents a podcast.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
This is 476 Barbarian, right?
yeah, I'm renting this place.
No, I booked it a month ago.
Are you sure you have the right place?
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
Why don't you come inside and we'll call these idiots. Why don't you just crash here?
Oh, no.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. The Panharmonicon Studios presents.
Podcast.
Yes. So I'm one of your hosts, Farron.
I am one of your hosts, Damon.
And I'm one of your hosts, Andrew.
There it is.
He's a little more confident. Like he's
You teed it up. I was like, well, I don't know what to do.
Each episode is going to get a little bit more, and then finally he'll be there.
Chief Financial Officer, Andrew. How's everybody doing? So we of course, well, we definitely want to hear how you're doing. Hopefully that you can just like say that and we just, somehow in the ether, we just kind of hear your voices and we can talk to you in the astral plane. But if this is your first time joining us here on the podcast, we talk about movies. We love movies. We also just talk to talk.
We are some yappers.
Yep.
We yap. Hopefully you enjoy it. I don't know. You as you guys start to get to know us, hopefully some of the things that we say and our tangents and deviations start to make sense. But yeah, our movies, we don't really necessarily focus on a specific genre. A lot of the movies are either movies that are our favorite films that might be on our like personal list on like HBO Max and other streaming apps and things of that nature, or movies we just heard from friends like, hey, this is pretty good, you should check it out.
Or movies that we randomly just see a clip of on social media.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it just becomes a movie we decide to watch.
Mac and me.
Yep.
Oh yeah, good times, man. Good times. Actually, it's kind of crazy to think that we're. I think we talked a little bit about this, but yeah, we're nearing the 1 year anniversary from when we recorded our first episode, because we recorded in September.
Heavy on recording, because obviously it'd be pretty weird. That episode, this episode is not
Yes,
like
right.
50 something, but what started out as just a concept is now become a multi-episode adventure, and we're definitely glad that you guys have been on the adventure with us.
Absolutely. And again, if you are new, please, hopefully you guys get a chance to go back and review some of the other content, the other movies that we've reviewed so far, and still would very much love to hear your thoughts, because we can always do follow up. We try to stay active in the comments, and then go in there and talk to anyone if there is anyone there, and also would love to see or hear some of your suggestions for your favorite movies. As we always say, can't guarantee that we'll have the same sort of affinity for it that you do, but we would love to be able to talk to you about it.
Who knows? Maybe you chose it because you didn't like it. You just wanted to torture us.
Yes. But also, of course, just business as usual. If you are listening, please be sure to like this video if you do like it, or thumbs down if you didn't. You can also let us know why you didn't. Sharing this video also helps a lot. Subscribing helps a lot. And if you're listening on Spotify, be sure to go ahead and give this a rating. I would hope for a 5-star rating, but
I'll just take a rating at this
point
point, because constructive feedback is tantamount
to
to progress, and we just want to be able to progress and figure out how we can create the best podcast you guys have ever laid your ears upon.
Yes. Also, one last little bit. Notifications. If you haven't already, I know notifications can be a little bit of a tricky thing, but we do post a variety of different things, shorts and much longer videos. Obviously, this is going to be one of them, but as we start to expand that, we don't want you guys to miss out on anything that we do produce and that we release. So yeah, just be aware of that.
Definitely. So he asked you guys how you have been, but Farron, Andrew, how have you guys been?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been physically feeling very stressed out. So for those who don't know, so I bodybuild as a hobby. I've got a competition actually coming up 2 weeks from now, and it's been 6 years since I've done my last competition.
Wow.
So it's been a while. Yeah, like the last time I did a competition, I just turned 30, and oof, I'm feeling it, man.
I bet.
I just had another calorie cut, and it hurts.
So you're just on like the full energy depletion mode.
Yeah, dude, I was at the gym this morning, and it honestly, I could have fell asleep. I could have fallen asleep. I was like, I'm ready to go back to bed. And usually, when I wake up in the morning, I wake up pretty early, and I'm like, another 15, 20 minutes isn't going to do anything. But today, that might have been the difference between, surviving to the very, very end. Because at a certain point, I was like, I have absolutely zero energy. I need to go. It was just kind of like going through the motions.
Yeah, it really sucks to have to like, in order to like look your best, you have to essentially be like,
feel your worst.
like your worst.
Yeah,
Like,
on the brink of death.
Yeah, dude, literally. I have felt just absolutely without energy. But ultimately, I mean, this is something that I do to myself. Like no one's forcing me to, and it is nice to be able to like challenge myself in this way. So I do have to keep in mind that I'm fortunate for that, and yeah, we'll get through it. Andrew?
Yeah, my tidbit is not as inspirational and or aspirational as that, but I've just been running into it. It's happened thrice now. People have taken WTF to mean who the fuck?
apparently,
Have you guys seen
it's
that?
now this thing where both apply.
That's
Like
so
depending
dumb.
upon like the sentence structure.
Yeah, because it's like read versus read. Because I had to like reread it like 3 times. Like I was like, what is this trying to say? But then I was like, oh, it's who, and not what.
Dang.
So hey, just a little looking out for you and the listeners.
Yeah, it's kind of
'Cause
crazy.
Dame's already hit this landmine apparently.
Yeah, like I guess that's just like a new age thing.
It's just the next generation of
Yeah, 'cause,
abbreviations.
I mean, it's been what for
Yeah,
how
do you
long
think
now?
It's gonna be
Right.
like, do you think it's gonna turn into where?
It probably can.
Why?
Like I guess at this point, like the W could be almost all of the question like words until
Wonka.
like depending upon the sentence, but we've just always used it as what because the saying is what the F.
Yeah.
It's never, like no one like if you're gonna say like where the F is something, you usually just say it out like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, as we get further and further into this like digital communication era, people just truncate words and truncate words and truncate words until like chat messages 20 years from now be nothing but
Hieroglyphs.
acronyms. Just be like, okay.
Dude, I remember. So on the episode that even though we recorded it a while ago, I forgot about the conversation that we had when you had mentioned "hey" being like the Swiss Army knife of greetings, and so it kind of seems like WTF is becoming that, like the Swiss Army knife of
Being flabbergasted. Oh, acronyms. Yeah, sure.
Flabbergastation. No, that's not a
Ooh.
word. Hopefully, maybe it becomes. How do you get a word to become a word?
up
It's
Miriam.
used enough by enough people.
Yeah, that's probably better
And
than
then
acronyms.
eventually, like, I guess Webster's dictionary will be like, this is the word of the year. It's now in the dictionary.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like ain't's in the dictionary.
Oh, ace in the dictionary.
Ain't a word, but now it is.
Ain't a word
Ain't a
till
word.
it is.
Till it is.
What about you, though, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, I guess you guys saw it because it's on there now. But I started a new like, I guess sub session. I don't know what to call it, but
Sub-series?
I called it a new series. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
New series on the channel. I call it "So What the Hell Was," and it's when I take a look at a movie that I do hope that we eventually do later on as a full episode, but I just take a look at it and I'll watch the whole movie. But and I kind of just determine like what the hell was happening in that movie. I've watched 2 movies now for this series,
Oh, nice.
but
I love it.
I've got to do some changes on how I do the next. I'm not even sure if I want it to continue to be in shorts or if I want to make it just like
Full length.
full like 3, 4, 5 minute up
Oh.
like things. But so first episode, if you guys haven't seen it, please do look at it. Not many people have. It's a little movie called Mismatched Couples, which was a Hong Kong kung fu dance movie from 1985 starring Donnie Yen, and only his 3rd ever movie.
Wow. Shout out Johnny. Donnie Yen?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Mr. It Man himself. Way before he was ever It Man.
Yeah.
And it just had so much of a WTF-ness that
A what or who?
this was
Or
a
where?
this was a,
Sorry.
this was a what and a who. Eventually, I did kind of ask where
and why?
and
You
why.
guys why? Okay. So you ran the gamut.
You hit-
ran
How was the only
WTF.
one I didn't have to do, but I should have maybe been asking how in some of
Yeah.
the scenes.
HD.
Because I showed a lot of that movie, but there was still so much more.
Oh, I bet.
That was just like,
Dude, I watched it.
What?
It's funny because like I went to go publish and see like schedule the Outlaw Johnny Black episode to be published, and I saw this other video was like scheduled to be published. I was like, huh, like, what is this? And I went ahead and took a
Ghost
look.
in the
and I was
Machine.
like, where did this come
Someone's
from?
feeding us content. That's sick.
I'm like, oh wow, what is this? And as soon as I watched it, I was like, yeah, there's much more to this. You can just tell, dude. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I love it.
Put it
so
on the list.
expect more of those. I'll just say already. The next one is Double Dragon, the 1984 movie. I'll maybe take some suggestions from you guys from the next ones, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and we'll also see how this episode goes.
Yeah.
This episode,
Let them know. Let them know.
you guys saw our earlier episode about weapons. It's only right eventually we were going to get to Zach Krieger, however you say his last name's first movie. I think it's his first movie, Barbarian, which came out in 2022. Had a budget of $4.5 million. Yep. I mean, it had Bill Skarsgård in it, so that's probably where a chunk of it was. But 4.5 million, and domestically it did 40.8 million.
Wow.
And internationally it did 4.5 million. So worldwide gross of 45 million. So success.
Yeah.
And especially for such a small movie from a dude who I think is like it's his first movie. I didn't realize he was one of the whitest kids you know.
Yeah.
He is going to be doing the next Resident Evil
I heard about
movie.
yes. Which, I was excited about that until I heard some whispers that I guess it's not really going to be like revolving around
supposedly like
stories used in the game.
yeah, it's supposed to be an original story within itself. And I think one of his like quotes was that people have already played the game, so what we want to be doing is original stories just set in that universe. But I played the game and I want to see live action played out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see where he's coming from with that, but like to your point, yeah, I still want to see a live act. Like I didn't read like the Infinity Saga and think to myself, well, I've already read the Infinity Saga. I guess I don't need them to make it into a movie. No,
That's okay because they barely did.
I guess. I mean, they took some of it, but also there were restrictions.
All the liberties. As far as I'm concerned, the most connecting things of the Infinity Gauntlet saga and the Infinity Saga of the MCU is that Thanos got a hold of the Infinity
Gauntlet.
Stones in the Gauntlet. That's it. And decimated half of the population.
Yeah.
Like why he did it was completely different. It essentially makes him a sympathetic person who just went out of his way, like he went too far instead of the tyrannical person who did it because he wanted to appease Mr.'s death.
Yeah, you know what? And I know this is not an Infinity War episode, but real quick, I do want to point out, like, I think it's interesting that at the end of Avengers, when they introduced Thanos as like the ultimate big bad of those phases, that there's a comment that's made when watching it. I just assumed it was like his second in command, but he says something like to court them or to fight them is to court death, and then you see Thanos turn, look at the camera, and he smiles. I thought that was going to be his purpose for seeking the Infinity Gauntlet because they phrase it in a way.
He said the thing.
Yeah,
It literally seems that way all the way up until Infinity War when he reveals why he did it, and you're like,
I thought you wanted a girlfriend. Like,
So you're not trying to smash? Or what?
no, apparently he's just really about the environment.
yeah.
But let's be honest, he also could have just doubled the production of all goods, but Thanos was right, everybody.
Yeah.
So
Instead of getting a divorce, you just murdered
murder people. You just murdered a man.
That's good.
our off mic bit.
But enough about Thanos and the MCU, and on to
We told them we're yappers. We warned them.
We added someone new.
To be
and
fair.
it's-
But yeah, Barbarian. Dude, it's so interesting because, like, I started watching the movie back in 2020. Like, once it hit streaming, I started watching the movie. I think I got up to maybe like 45 or so minutes in, and it wasn't even like I wasn't enjoying it. I just, for some reason, I think I had to go to bed, and then I just never went back to it until we talked about doing it for the podcast.
did you start at that 45 minutes or did you?
I just started over. I just went ahead and started over. But then, like, I'm glad that I did because it makes that $4.5 million budget make so much more sense because of like how ultimately like restrictive it is in the number of settings and environments.
Yeah,
it uses.
it's kind of really just a house.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And you don't really have too many characters. Like they talk about the neighborhood, for instance, that the house is set in. Being such a dangerous neighborhood, I think you only see like
Just the one
2
guy.
homeless people. I think there's the
Yeah.
one who, kind of getting ahead of myself. I apologize, but like you didn't have any actors. I guess is ultimately kind of like the thing.
I guess it was
It feels like
Skarsgård.
there's like a handful of people in this entire movie.
Oh, I guess also Justin Long is probably not.
Justin Long
true.
and Bill Skarsgård probably were
Yeah.
the two main proponents of the budget.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
So we were talking before this, as we always do. It'd be very weird if we just came in here and immediately just started this part.
And like we didn't know each other. We just like clocked in and just.
Punch card.
So anyway, I wish I had seen this movie before I saw Weapons, because I think it would have informed me much more on the things that I talked about in our Weapons review that I didn't realize were just so kind of intrinsically tied to Zach's directing style. I will just kind of say outright how I feel about the movie. I do not like this movie as much as I like Weapons. And it... Jumping very, very, very far ahead, we always put a spoiler warning in this, and I will just say outright, that ending pissed me off. It made me so mad.
I'm so glad. I'm so excited to hear why.
But
Yeah.
jumping back, it was so interesting because I think I talked a lot about how he used camera movement to convey things, and how we were talking about in like our Grand Budapest Hotel, how Wes Anderson will just sit on a scene and just keep it steady, no movement whatsoever, and he only used tracking shots whenever he like felt he truly needed to convey either the beauty of a background or like the movement of people when it felt like important, like that they were going to be moving somewhere with like importance. Like he would move the camera in that regard. Zach, it feels like he just uses it kind of like as a visual flair to what he's doing. And Weapons, it felt much more like uniformed, like he was doing it with true purpose. Like you always saw the back of a person if we were like focused pretty much on their point of view. When he needed to like convey, like we were out of their point of view and we were looking at the character themselves, suddenly we would see their face. And I don't feel that way in this movie. In this movie, it just kind of felt like he was like, it felt like he had just learned what tracking was.
So do you feel like he was doing it too often?
There were so many tracking and like panning shots that I was just like, wow, there's a lot of camera movement, because there'd be a number of times, like it'd be like if a character was standing still, panning. If they were walking left to right, tracking. Like it was like he would. So my first idea of it is when Tess gets out of the car when it's raining at the very beginning of the movie and she heads toward the house. That could have, I think it would have been more impactful, but he had to keep a tighter like shot because he didn't want to reveal what the neighborhood looked like immediately.
Right.
So, but
Right.
I think it would have been more impactful if it was just like a wide shot from the side and it was just her getting out of the car and going to the house.
Or like from the window of her car.
Car or
like,
something
watch
like that.
her.
Yeah, but in that he like kept it tight on her and he did a tracking shot to show that she was going towards the house, which I felt kind of was unnecessary. And a lot of the times it feels like his tracking shots were kind of unnecessary just in that movie. I'm not saying that against like his whole design or directing ethos, just in this movie. I enjoyed the tenseness of like the first half of this movie. Bill does an amazing job of seeming like he is going to be the villain of this movie.
Yeah.
Until he is not the villain of this movie. And when he got taken out, I was like, what? We're done with him? What's going on? And then I remembered at one point that you said that Justin Long was in this movie. And I was like, where the hell is Justin Long at?
I had that exact. I was like, when?
It's so funny because like when I started watching, it was really kind of up to the point where I think Justin Long had just gotten to Michigan. It was like around the part that I stopped. But as soon as he was introduced, I was like, Justin Long is in this movie?
And I was just sitting there like, man, I thought you said Justin Long. And then Bill Skarsgård dies, and then Justin Long just pops up. I'm like, oh, now he's in the movie. Okay, I get you.
Yep. Which I wonder, like, if you watched it before Weapons, would that have made that scene in Weapons more like?
Yeah, it would have been like, oh,
Witness
Justin
protection
Long.
program, like.
Because as it was, I was more like, Justin Long. I haven't seen him in ages.
Yeah.
But in this case, it would have been like, oh, he's got him and Zach.
Yeah.
got a little thing going. But I loved Bill in the movie, and I thought that he did such an amazing job of just making everything feel like awkward, tense. I kept being like, man, he's gonna kill her or something. Yep. And I didn't expect that to just be like the preamble of like what I guess was going to be the real gut of the movie. Georgina Campbell, I thought I disliked her at first. Like I think I called her milk toast.
Yep.
In the original in Weapons, she just kind of. I thought she was going to be the one that died. I thought it was like a Scream thing where when the Drew Barrymore dies at the beginning of it.
Right.
That's what I thought was happening here. Because it was like she didn't feel like she had a real personality. And everything screamed, I'm going to die. And then she didn't die. Bill died instead. And then I was like, oh, maybe she also died and we just got Justin going on here. But then she pops back up again and I'm like, oh, okay. And then we just track the rest of them. And I think because there's so few scenery changes, because everything really does just happen pretty much in this house and in its basement and its network of tunnels, that you kind of lose track of like how long the movie is running until it isn't running anymore. And you kind of like, I can sense the end now because you've now left the house.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that was when I was like, damn, how long have I been watching this movie? Because I turned it on like the night after Weapons and thought to myself like, I'll watch this. Like, this should be like a little quick jaunt. Then I was like, in fact, I was going to do it while I was like playing a video game. And then eventually, like, I realized I wasn't playing the video game anymore because I was just like, how long is this movie going and what's happening here? And then eventually I was like, oh my God, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to sleep. But I completely get his style now. And I get like the mixing, like not truly being humorous, but putting elements in that can be viewed as being humorous as a way of like just putting you like in a place or putting you in like a piece of time, as opposed to like something like Shaun of the Dead, where it is like a comedy wrapped piece of horror.
Yeah.
Or
horror rap piece of comedy.
Horror
is
rap.
Is that?
Yeah, a horror rap piece of comedy. Or it was more akin to like 28 Days Later when that like fat zombie lady popped up off of the gurney and ran over.
What scene is that? I'm trying to.
It's like halfway through the movie. It's such a short burst, like a scene. It's such a short burst in that scene.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be. In reality, it should be scary as all fuck. But it was just like fat lady in a moo and it made me laugh. Like, I was dying laughing.
It feels like it does something interesting to like the tension, because you would almost think it's like, oh, I'm intending this scene here to cut this tension.
You can only build tension for so long
before you have to like
do
ease
something
up on it, and
or
like a rubber band, you can't just
keep
continue to pull, yank, and No, that's a very good point. Because also the way that he cuts the tension is, it's like you said, it's not like it's an overly intentional funny thing. Just like thinking about Weapons, when Josh Brolin's character wakes up from that dream, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, yeah, I think any one of us would probably have that kind of reaction after everything that he's gone through. But it's also like the way he delivered it, and like his response juxtaposed against like just the oddness of his dream that makes it funny. But it's like traditionally, like if you just heard somebody do that, you go, yeah, I get why you did that. It's not like,
I think it also does this thing where like it, instead of it being like tense, like tense, like a roller coaster, and then an immediate drop after like you've hit that like peak. So like taking like that weapon scene, for example, like you're going through this dream and you're like, it's building up, and then finally, I forget her name, but the little lady appears, and like,
Gladys,
yeah. And he like, that's like the bing, and then so often in horror, then it's just a sheer drop off, and like you're just left with like a flat scene that it's usually like a transition, and that's a flat scene that's gonna start building itself back up. With the like slight humor, it like, instead of being a sheer drop off, it now becomes like a slope that lets you like just gradually get back down to the base before you start going back up. Because I don't know how many times I've seen like a jump scare in a horror movie, and then it like transitions into people like walking around in like a mall or something like that, and you're just like, oh, you're still so like jittery from that like jump, but you're like, dude, what the fuck? But like, if there's a bit of like humor immediately right after, it kind of just like let you get that laugh out, and then you can be like, okay, now I'm ready. Scare me again. Which one would you guys? I think it's a very interesting idea that you bring up. Like, which one would you guys prefer? Would you prefer for you, like when you're watching a horror movie, for there to be a steep, just a drop off, or a slope that allows you to sort of slowly come back down?
I think it kind of depends on the story that's being told, I guess.
Okay.
Because like what really works, because it's like those jump scares, like that's probably in like slasher stuff. It would probably be better to have the downgrade instead of just the flat, because then you are truly just kind of like left in a lurch. But like if you're trying to like be more impactful with the story, I think like if you're trying to really, this seems like I'm just shitting on slasher movies, but like if you're trying to tell like a specific story or like make the audience feel a certain type of way, that might be a way to like play with emotions and things like that.
Having the slope,
But
having
the
having
drop,
the steep drop,
just to be like, you have to sit with that feeling of just like, what did I just see?
while everything just continues to just
While we
move
see
on,
some
and
people
you're still
just going chopping. Yeah, and you're like, oh, this horrible thing is happening in the basement, but you know, here's everybody going to Annie Ann's.
Some brothers get their head cut off, and the next scene is like, can I get an original, some cinnamon pretzel sticks?
That's exactly how it is, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck? Dude. What'd you think about it, Andrew?
I thought it was good. I will say, just to stir up another old, I guess it's not a well, it would be a conversation. I thought this was leaning more towards horror than it was thriller. And I think that's just the fact that there's just random shit in the basement. Like, you're like, oh, I'm the first person to pull this string, and now I'm just in hell. Like, it's like, why? Like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Versus but it did have like you're saying, the very thriller, like, oh, I thought the guy that was there is like, oh yeah, this is a thing, like she's dead, like we all know it, but she didn't. But I thought it was really good. Compared to Weapons, I will say I probably liked Barbarian more, but it's very cool to see like the evolution of, I guess, the refining of his directory style, and maybe if he had some involvement in the story, just like the storytelling. Because I was telling more of just like, oh, like the cuts between, but like, oh, in Weapons, like they'll name like the chapter that they're going to, like, oh, now we're following this character.
Yeah. Where
in Barbarian, it was just kind of like, cut, here's something new.
Yeah. Like, cut, here's, 40 years in the past. Cut,
right.
Here's, Because that also, because there was no, and I'm trying to remember, was there any sort of them, Krieger, like alluding to some prolific killer from 40 years in the past that was kidnapping people within the story leading up to.
Nope.
I
So
don't
it
think
was just
so.
kind of like
Yeah.
purely.
That story just
Hey,
mine just popped up out of nowhere. I was like,
Hello, my darling. Hello. I don't know.
I was like, it's
WD Frog. Yes.
hello, my baby, hello, my darling. But it like literally just like it jumped to that scene, and I was confused.
Me too.
I was like, what's
this
going
What's
on?
happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took me like kind of a while to realize. I was like, oh, this is the past.
Same neighborhood.
It's like it took me to realize like the cars and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, we're in the past. I guess they're trying to say this is that neighborhood. And then like, but I'm like, but why do I care about this dude?
Right.
And then it like he wrapped it up later, and I was like, oh, okay. But at the same time, what?
So I guess for the evil man, was the woman he was stalking, was that his first victim? Do we know like the order of things, or because like the homeless guy is like, oh, you know, he takes women and then he has babies with his babies and then babies with those babies. So like, was she the original mother?
I don't know if she was the
Or-
original
yeah,
or
that's
not
another
because he seemed to be like at that point
Practice?
he seemed pretty
Yes,
practiced.
He was like, oh,
He knew
doing home
exactly what
birth.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knew he knew what questions to ask. He knew like how quickly he just went into that woman's bathroom. And really he had like a change of clothes to go into. He went to the woman's bathroom, like, oh, let me check this. Open up, like, unlock the window. Like he had a plan. Yeah. And it's like how you hear in some like true crime stories sometimes you can just like tell when somebody's not done this. This is not their first time doing a certain crime.
Also crazy that he was a serial kidnapper and not a serial killer because he moved about like a hitman.
Yeah.
But then the ultimate goal was to like kidnap a person, torture him, and I guess make them have a baby that he would then, I don't, did he then stay in the basement forever? Because they didn't even like, did he ever like not own the property
It
anymore?
seemed like he sold. Like that's what I was assuming. Because then
Oh,
Justin
that's
Long was
wild.
like, "This is my house." You know, like why are people's stuff here?
Also, I wonder if it would have those tunnels potentially led to any other houses.
I think they
in the
did.
neighborhood.
I like they had to, right? Because they went so far.
Yeah.
truly.
Like they had to be a network of tunnels up underneath there, and that's probably how he eventually was like getting people, was by like getting inside of basements somehow. But
He had electricity down there.
yeah, you would also think
That was
that would have been something that a zoner would have, because you gotta get a house like checked out and zoned, right? You would think at some point the person checking out the house would have been like, "There's a crazy power draw here that doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
Um,
Because I guess
I see some cords that seem to be going towards that wall and then disappearing.
Yeah.
Can we
down this
check that
manhole.
out?
But was he was water though, right? Like that was what his job was. Like he was part of like, or I guess was that just what he was?
That was what he claimed to be. No
God,
clue
was
if
wild.
he
I thought it
was.
was like electricity. I thought he was saying something about like a power outage or something.
No,
And
he was
then
checking their plumbing.
Yeah, he was talking about
that's
water.
right. That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I guess that we never know if that's his actual job or not. Because I didn't know if like that could be he knows enough about the grid that he could
Also,
do
Like
this.
siphon off without.
Couldn't even
Yeah.
tell the
anyone.
decade they were placing him in.
That-
Was it the
that
80s? Was it the
Yeah, 'cause
50s?
I thought 50s with like the house dress, but then the neighbor guy looked like just a regular dude. So
See, yeah, I was like, but also, yeah, as much time had passed, he should have been dead, like, because he was
True,
already
yeah.
kind of like an older dude back
Right.
then, and if it was like even 60s, it would be 60 years later, assuming that it takes place at that time. But
2020, yeah.
something that was really when you brought up like not noticing that it was like taking you a while to click that it was the past. It's like why was the past so vibrant?
It was
It
more.
was so colorful.
I think it's because of how dark. Because it was like nighttime almost consistently in this
Yeah.
movie, and because I think it was pretty vibrant when she was like at that like a interview during the daytime.
Yeah, when like the coffee shop. Or
it
wherever
was
he
it was brighter, like it was daytime, but like
Well, no, it was
the use
very
of color.
vibrant in that, like, because it was
Yeah,
like
it's, like,
bright green
saturated.
grass
Yeah,
and like
like
heavy
pink,
saturation.
yeah, I'm like, wow.
like her
okay, this
dress
is-
was like very vividly yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so very interesting. And what did you guys think about? So when Justin Long his character is introduced,
Mm-hmm.
and his whole situation.
Dude, I was like, I wanted to be sympathetic towards him, but like the more he talked, the more I was like, did you do
just
it?
did it, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when he's in I think it was like a bar with his friend. He's like,
Yeah.
sometimes they just need a little coercion. You just gotta,
Yeah.
I'm like an animal. I just, I keep going. I'm like,
And the
dude,
friend's like,
this
did she
is-
say no? He's like, yeah, but then she said yes. So it's like, okay, well then you did it. Like,
It was so weird because I was like, when he was in the car, I was like, he seemed so blindsided by
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, they must be getting him.
yeah.
But then like when he was in the bar, I was like, dude,
sounds like you did
suck.
Yeah, dude, 100%. 100%. Like the more details that he let out, it was just kind of like, oh, like you are that guy.
Yeah.
You were definitely that guy. My thing is like you said, like, dude, if you got a no, done, leave it alone, just stop. What are we doing here?
And it's so creepy, essentially, because he did do it. To then act like this was all something that just like, how did this happen? It can't
Right.
be happening.
Yes.
This is such a
Yes.
crazy thing that's happening to me.
I can't believe it. Like
It's like, dude, you know.
So,
Well-
like, looking back at the shock that he exuded when it happened, like, do you think that was more of, because, like, when you're first seeing it, you're like, oh, like, maybe, to your point,
Like,
like,
it's
they
a
are just trying to
blindside.
get at him. Yeah, like, he just totally was blindsided. Or do you think it was more that he just assumed that he's in such a position of power? Because one of the things that he had mentioned is, I think his agents were like, they're moving on with the pilot, but without you. And he's like, well, they brought me on before her, and he's trying to
Like, I brought her on.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like, does he just feel that he has enough power, so much power that people like that are just they're invincible? Like, no one's
Yeah,
gonna
probably.
say anything
I mean,
against
he
him.
kind of had this like air of thinking he was like untouchable.
There was that
Yeah.
arrogance. Yeah.
Because it was like the way he was like talking to, I guess not the real estate lady, but like the rental company of just be like, why are like people's stuff here? Like, oh, the keys are like just like his whole attitude. Like once that was kind of revealed, like, oh yeah, you are a piece of shit. Like
to
it's
be
just, like,
fair,
all
she
this.
also sucked.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That lady was the most useless person
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Was he not even aware that his house was being used?
I don't
for
think he was aware
Airbnb?
that it was used as an Airbnb.
That I'm not
But
sure.
I think he would have to know, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't have been making money on the
yeah, because that's
the
probably
property.
how
Exactly.
you would make money off of it. Yeah.
But so why would you then be confused?
Well,
think it's
because she
because-
told him that nobody was there.
yeah.
But she's also the same person that posted the place on 2 different places and got it
occupied
double booked.
by-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which then how would you not know that there are people there? But you know.
Oh yeah, no, that person's really terrible at their job.
Yeah, no,
Oh my God.
yeah, no, she was
very
horrible.
Everyone's
Yeah.
getting a different answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was like, that's why at first I thought I was like, well, I think Bill's lying. Bill's got to be here to kill this lady.
Right.
Yeah.
Then like he's like, no, like, it's so weird because when I look back on it now, I'm like, man, all that beginning part was so genuine actually.
Yeah.
And there was no ulterior motive for him. He was being really genuine. But like when Justin got there and she also didn't have answers for him, it was like, you're telling me in between the time that Justin got there and they disappeared, nobody came back on that house to clean it up, to check for the keys. Like,
Yeah, she was saying like the maids only come after a service, so then
so wouldn't the service have been after the period of time that they should have not been there
Well,
anymore?
I guess it also depends on like how long it would have taken, like how much time had passed. I guess,
Yeah.
since they had actually gotten there. Like, because I don't think there was ever like
least
an
a
official
day?
date of.
I
like,
guess
Yeah.
that's
here
true.
and then-
Like, I guess he could have got there the day after, like, they disappeared.
yeah.
But
But the money should have hit the account. That's all I'm saying. It's like you have to pay to book it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you should have.
They
seen,
had
like,
the
yeah,
confirmation
somebody's-
emails. Yeah, like that.
So,
That's
yeah,
probably a
who's-
pending
I mean,
charge. You know.
what?
so she clearly double booked.
Yeah.
like a place.
Right.
And that would be stupid. Why would you put an Airbnb listing on 2 different
Yeah.
like sites
Yeah.
and then be like, yep, just taking in the money.
Yeah, that's super awkward.
Also, that neighborhood.
How is that?
Did
what?
World War III happen
Truly.
exclusively in that neighborhood?
Yeah,
And somehow, like, only like one house got bought and renovated. No other house has been touched in it.
Because it was the millennial gray inside. Like it had like the flipper.
Yeah,
aesthetic.
it was like
Yeah.
it was clearly flipped. Who would flip a house in a neighborhood like that?
It was
I'd look at that house and be
$5 to buy
like,
this house.
"We gonna have to get some more because ain't nobody gonna want to go there."
yeah.
Yeah.
No one like that house was a derelict. Dude. Well, I'm sorry, other houses in the neighborhood
Yeah.
were the derelicts, but you know, I think the first movie I ever saw Justin Long in was Jeepers Creepers. And I think the movie maybe came out in like 2001 or 2002, so I was like 12, 13 years old. And like I love that movie. I love the experience of like my mom taking me to go see that movie. And I'm not going to go super deep into Jeepers Creepers. Maybe that's just a movie that we'll cover another day. But I do want to say that Justin Long, when it comes to horror movies, that dude's got some terrible luck. He's got some, like, in every horror movie he's in, I guess with the exception of Weapons, where it was just like the cameo.
Yeah. I mean, his daughter ran away, so that kind of sucks.
That's
I guess,
true.
well, yeah, she ran away, and, she maybe
ripped
can't talk
a lady,
anymore.
like a 75-year-old lady apart. Like, your kid just come back home with, like, blood on her hands and mouth. Like, dude, I don't know. I think I just killed a grandma.
Also catatonic somehow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Walrus, he gets turned into the...
Walrus.
Tusk, yeah.
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
There was... Dude, there was another film that he was in... Oh, it's so this doesn't happen directly to him, but if you've ever heard of the movie Drag Me to Hell, I think it was directed by Sam Raimi. It's not necessarily a great fate there either. So it's just like, dang, dude, he's always getting the shitty end of the stick. And I was thinking that when I was watching him suck from that nipple, which is the crazy part, because when that was happening, I was like, damn, this dude doesn't have any. And then the end of the movie happened, I was like, well, he really doesn't have any good luck. But that nipple. This is going to sound really weird. What did it taste like? Like, there's no way that it was... I'm not asking because I want to. I'm just asking because it's like, they've been down there for decades.
Yeah, but it's like, how is she still producing milk? I guess that's my question. It's like, where's the...
Yeah, dude, like, and what if she's not? And what if she's like going through the motion? She's just, like, she's already kind of treating these people...
Like,
oh, no, she has to be, right? Because didn't she gave them milk earlier?
It was like a big bottle.
Yeah, but I mean, where would she have gotten it from?
That's true.
Yeah, who's going out running errands for them?
Yeah, nobody.
Like, how...
He would have had to have done, like, some type of, like, doomsday prepping.
That could be it.
That's impressive, man. That's a long time. That's a long time to have enough resources.
I mean, we don't know when he, like, eventually,
yeah, I guess.
locked himself down there.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
When the house was sold, et cetera, et cetera.
So I didn't want to bring her up during my initial rant of how I felt about this movie.
Were you eventually going to do it? Were you just going to keep those
when
details from
when
us?
she came up, when we finally got to the point of talking about her, I wish we never saw all of her. And I don't say that from a means of like oh, she was like gross or like, oh, ooh, I can't believe they showed it. If anything, she would have needed to be more gross for me to have been like, she should be all shown. I think the threat of her existing and the way that we were getting like flashes of her, like moving about in the darkness and things like that worked great. But then she became like a mainstay.
A character.
And I was like, no.
Yeah. Well, dude, you know what's funny? Because I think we talked about that after we saw Weapons, about how like in some horror movies, like sometimes when that's the scarier part, right?
Yeah, like less is more.
Exactly. When it's just a sound in the darkness, when it's just a tail, when it's just a hand, when it's just like a smile in the darkness that you can see that stands out. And then when you finally reveal what that creature is, it's almost kind of like, oh, okay. Like, knowledge is power. Now that I know.
Yeah, it's like in Cloverfield, how like it took them so long to finally give you the full monster, right? Yeah. Like, you didn't get into the full, like, the ending, and then you were like, okay. Because you knew the entire time it was this big Godzilla-like thing walking around fucking shit up. Here, it was like, she showed up momentarily, and she bashed Bill Skarsgård's head into the wall till he was nothing. And then you didn't see her again. Mm-hmm. And then, like...
You got a hand
with the bottle, and then, like, dragging and picking up and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, ooh. Like, I would have... I don't know. Part of me, I guess, is you probably can't make the whole movie where you just never see Oliver. But the instant that you saw Oliver, the mystique went away, and then it just kind of. And unfortunately for me, once the mystique went away, I got to start nitpicking at what she looked like and like the costume and everything like that, and I was just like, okay. I get it. And then, like, just that whole ending with her, like, leaving the house and running up the thing and jumping off the fucking.
Trying to save her baby.
I think that was the part that, because I think to a degree I kind of agree with you. It's not really, but for me, it's not really necessarily her design so much as it is, because her design is it is kind of like meh, but it's also not like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the super strength that they gave her. She has a level of strength that
It's kind of weird that
is
incredibly
kind of insane.
inbred like
Yeah.
who has super strength as opposed to being emaciated and not like functioning.
she got hit by a car and like literally smashed into a wall, right? And by the end of the movie, fell off of that tower.
At
It had
least
another human land on
6,
her.
Yeah.
And then got up to then finish off another person. Like, holy crap.
And the way she finished him off.
The way, yes, that is the other part, dude. That is the other part, man. I don't know. Dude, his head was like a hand fruit, man, like a pomegranate.
I was like, I couldn't even feel sorry for him. I was like, man, you have been an asshole.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
entire
god, dude.
movie.
Yeah.
And I was hoping, I had this feeling because when he was giving that, like, sort of like towards the end, and he had that like, oh, am I a bad person? Am I a bad person? I was like, oh man, he really is like legitimately questioning this, and maybe there's gonna be nope.
Next
Nope.
opportunity, just save myself.
Yep. But yeah, that was a way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, think about it. Like I remember as a kid when I would see movies where somebody would just pick somebody up against a wall, one arm by the throat. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's possible. And then you get older, you're like,
Like, no, it's not.
nah, that's not happening.
Unless you
But then
got
for
the
her to do
shoulder
that
of Hercules.
Yeah.
with his head, and then literally just crack it open like she was splitting open an orange, man. For Scott Lang, huh?
Oh, I just said snack time.
Snack time, yeah. Well, it was Scott Lang because does anyone have any orange slices?
Yeah.
Slices, yeah.
And she does, and it was Justin Long. Like, it was crazy.
It's crazy that he even thought like how she should kill. like I was just sitting there writing, and then she picks him up by the head and splits it open as if she was opening up a ultra ripe watermelon.
Like, put his like her thumbs,
thumbs,
in his
like,
eyes.
in his eyes.
Yeah.
Dude, and that oozing of the
grip.
oof.
And it's like that was like if any like if that was a time to finally show her, that would have been
That
it.
would have
Yeah.
been, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah. How do you guys feel about gore? Are you guys gore people? Or like less
not
is
to me, if I would rather there be minimal gore, and I think that's because like I was just introduced to all those like Troya movies like as a kid.
What movies?
Like the Toxic Avenger and like those other type of movies where it's just like, oh, this is like gore just for the sake of gore as opposed to being like the purpose. Like if
Yeah.
gore has a purpose to it,
then
then I'm perfectly fine with it. But if the gore is just like got a visceral time, you're like if it can be
Hostel or
and also maybe if it can be funny, like in like the Army of Darkness, and stuff
yeah,
like that, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, like that amount of gore that happens in this movie was just like, okay. I was more in. I think the bits where, like the parts that I think were supposed to actually like creep me out or like gross me out were like the nipple suck and like the whole
The weird baby room.
yeah, that part like that made so much sense. It was
Yeah.
like yeah. But the ending where she just took his head and was like, now there's two. This split apart was.
it seems like Zach is very much a fan of like red herrings.
Yeah.
There was a lot because I will admit when when Justin Long's character stumbled upon, I guess here we go again, the serial kidnapper, and he was slowly pulling out that revolver. I thought that was how he was going to find his end.
Yeah, for sure.
To kill himself, to unalive himself, and I didn't expect that. It was just like a lot of just kind of leading you one way and then going the opposite direction. But
Also, I hate to keep interrupting. Why?
Why did he kill himself? Yeah, that's
You've been down there so long.
yeah. What? Oh, the jig's up. Fuck.
Like what? Like you got like that juggernaut daughter out there. You think Justin Long was gonna get back out and get to the cops somehow?
Yeah.
I love that you came up with that name, Juggernaut Daughter.
Yeah, I mean that's what she
That's
was.
true.
Yeah,
This is
true.
what
She
she
probably
is.
could have run through walls.
Yeah. No, 100%.
It was just so like it was so weird. It was like he was finally like, oh well, no, I must
Someone knows my secret.
take all my
Damn.
sins with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone
literally
person,
one person.
that's not even a cop
Yeah.
came down
Just-
here and located me. Jig is up.
I'm off myself. It was like,
I've watched my videos too many times.
and I do remember being like
God, dude, that
thinking he was going to kill Justin.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like he turned it on himself. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! At the same time, Justin did that.
Yeah.
And I was like, but after he did it, I was like, well, why'd he do that? He could have just chilled down there still and died of natural causes, I guess.
But I guess that could be the thing is like how maybe he was like at the end of his rope, so
So he's like, okay, well,
might as well.
I'd rather
Don't wanna
not
deal
die
with
in my
it.
sleep. Let me put a
Right.
bullet to my head.
you go that long without, however long it was, without fresh air, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just in the stank tunnels.
Ugh.
How was there ventilation? Like what?
It didn't seem like it.
I want to
Yeah.
go. I want a behind the scenes.
Yeah, or just a
like
tour.
a tour of that
MTV
place,
Cribs.
so I can see how anyone could survive in there.
Yeah.
Yo, MTV Cribs is back, y'all. We in Michigan.
Because also, like, think of how far you would have to go into those tunnels before you get to that room.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was miles. It seemed like miles.
So, like, what if you needed to go back out? Like, you're sitting in there like, oh shit. Me.
Forgot the coffee.
Guess I'm just not having coffee today. Like, I'm not gonna walk back just for a cup.
Like the fucking the murder room or the torture room was way at the beginning of the place. So like he had to take those videotapes and then walk off.
Right.
To the other room.
Yeah, that's gross though. That, just to like have videos of that and just like just be sitting there just like patting yourself on the back. You,
And that's his like,
Just like a
fucking,
highlight reel.
that's gotta be his entertainment for the rest of his life.
yeah,
Right.
man. Yeah, not VH tapes with like old reruns of Step by Step or like Family Matters.
What if he did though? What if they were those and then he had to like tape over them? So you sit there like step by step, day by.
Or do like it just starts off with the shoot. Somebody help me! Did I do that? Like, dude, you gross piece. Stuff like that. Just it also just sort of is like ignites this very visceral just hate
Yeah,
inside
for
of me,
sure.
dude. Like just thinking about, and I know that's fiction, but that shit like that has happened in real life, and I'm like, how gross of a human being do you have to be to do something like that?
I think you just kind of stopped being a human being at that point.
Yeah. You lost that title. So this is a Panharmonicon Studios first. I'm gonna ask the question. Out of 5 Panharmonicons.
Before we do the 5 Panharmonicons.
Oh, you got a little appetizer.
No, this
guess
was
this
this
is more
was
like a
this was
dessert.
teased at the beginning.
Yeah.
The ending, that fucking ending,
Yeah.
pissed me off. So, as we have described, basically the ending, which was Tess gets out of the house and is helped by a homeless man that scared her at the beginning of the movie, who was not another one of the red herrings. And he takes her and then eventually Justin to some like a homeless camp that is just like 3 houses down. And is in this like other part of the bombed out. I can't even call it a neighborhood. It's like a street. This bombed out street. Apparently the Hulk and like Abomination fought there and killed every single house except the one that is the mainstay of the movie. So he's there and they've got like fire and stuff, and the homeless dude says, hey man, she don't really come out this far. She don't come down the street. And so she does.
Classic. Who would have thought?
So what he said didn't matter because she does come out this far.
The first time for everything, you know?
and chases the two of them up a water tower.
Kills him first.
Yeah,
She kills the homeless man because that's what he get for lying.
honestly, wasn't it like pretty much right as he said that?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of those perfectly timed moments, man. Because I've been here for 15 years and she ain't never.
Never, bam.
And then she rips what this. He like picks him up, rips his arm off, and then beats him to death
Beats
with his
him
arm.
with the arm, giving them time to run away. They get up this water tower. She chases. Tess is kind of doing the damsel. I don't want to say white woman getting chased by a Jason thing, but it's close to that.
She did get shot though.
Did get shot
In
earlier,
her defense.
Yeah.
In her
was-
milquetoast defense.
just perfect. That, of course, Justin Long was shoot in the dark, but she took that shot like a champ.
Truly.
She really did, dude. Dude, Tess, she tanked that.
She did. And so they get up to the top of this thing, and Justin decides that he needs to survive, and the only way he can survive is by tossing Tess off of the water tower.
Real quick, and also and to reiterate, this is literally just after he had like this epiphany
crisis of
that he was not a good
conscious.
person with everything that had happened, with the whole thing that he was dealing with the lawsuit of the sexual assault allegations.
He decided he was not a good person. Basically,
That's what he landed
That's
on.
what his like thought process came to. Am I a good person? No. And then tosses her off. The mother, I think, is what they call her in the movie. Jumps off to save Tess
To save her baby.
because she's become her baby, and the two fall, and we think that's the end. It turns out that Tess landed somehow, even though Tess fell first. Tess landed on top of the mother. Justin gets down. He thinks that they're both dead, but then he sees that Tess is not dead. He's like, "Oh, good. You survived. Anyway, I'm still a bad person. I kind of suck, but we both survived. So good on us. Go team." Turns out the mother is alive, and she gets up, and as we said, proceeds to crack his head open like coconut. If she was like a strongman contest.
Yes.
And then she turns to Tess and starts to kind of cradle her like a mother would. And Tess takes the gun that Justin had and shoots the mother and kills her.
And then roll credits.
Roll credits. And I was like, the fuck? No, you didn't just do that. But no, it's supposed to be okay after this, because then, like, while the credits roll, we get like flashes of Tess essentially walking away from everything that has just happened and going to the gas station that she had been to earlier, which I guess was also just down the street, just a little bit further a ways. And then it just ends.
I didn't understand the point of
What was the
showing
point of
clips
that?
of her walking away.
If you weren't going to give me any type of resolution,
Yeah.
you just should have just did the stupid fucking cut ending you did at the beginning.
and then just let it be the credits. Because I was watching it, because I continued watching, like, okay, where's this leading to? Where's this leading to? And then it just
Nowhere.
stopped showing. I was like, okay, that
Yeah.
was literally pointless. Like, there was.
I was like, you strung me along this entire fucking movie, Zach. Why did you end it this way? Ooh.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, how many?
Yes. How many Panharmonicons? How many out of 5 Panharmonicons would you give this film?
I'm gonna give this movie a smooth 3 out of 5, or 3.5 out of 5 Panharmonicons.
Oh my God. Are you in my mind, good sir? Because I was going to give it 3.5 Panharmonicons.
I was also going to give it 3.5.
Oh my God! Yay us! High fives! Okay, we were too far
High
away.
five.
We were too
Wow.
far. Once we have video, you'll see that like my arms are long, but they're not that long. I am a
My
pterodactyl.
arms aren't that
man.
long. But 3.5 just felt correct to me in terms of giving it a sense of scale out of just how the movie felt to me after it ended. If you'd given me the first half of the movie, I would have given that thing like a 4.5. And if it had continued the way my mind thought it was going to continue, it may have gotten a 5. But
You fucked it, Zach.
but then you just started doing weird shit, Zach. The random jump, pre-explaining what you were about to explain later, felt weird to me. Essentially, like the jump back in time to give us like, I don't even want to call the dude an antagonist. I guess he's an antagonist in the way that like the devil is an antagonist in scary movies, even though he's not a present part of it. like he's the reason why we have this juggernaut woman in a basement smashing Bill Skarsgård's head. Did we need him? I don't really think we did. I think you just thought you needed a reason to explain why this person exists. But maybe a monster can just exist.
Yeah. That
being said, I didn't hate the movie. I know I've been pretty ragging on a lot of the elements of the movie. I would not have continued watching the movie if I did not like the movie the way that I did. It would have been passive watching. Like I said before, I was playing a video game, and I just stopped playing a video game because it went from passive watching to just full-on active watching, because it did pull me in. I enjoyed Georgina Campbell's acting. I enjoyed Bill Skarsgård's performance, and even though he was an asshole throughout it, I enjoyed Justin Long's performance of being an asshole who is a horrible person and doesn't realize that he's a horrible person until the end of it. They were the three highlights for me, which makes sense because they are pretty much the three
only characters in the
movie. Hated the part with the cop. That was like one of the most like, that didn't serve any purpose. I kind of would have enjoyed a bit more of like the building up to the mother. I think his goal was just making Bill Skarsgård such a big like red herring that he just put all the focus there. But I think. And I will say, I think that something that slasher films do get correct, even though we see the slasher in itself pretty early, is giving you a forewarning that character exists. Like usually, like if it's a Jason movie or something like that, they're at Camp Crystal Lake and they'll be like, "Hey, did you hear the tale of Jason?"
Yeah, like
something that would have given you a concept that a killer existed. But I also understand his like want to be like, this could seem like an everyday affair. These two people just happen to show up at Airbnb, and now one of them's dead.
Because you could have had like when the homeless guy ran up the first time, it would have been like, "Hey, lady, if you stay here, you're gonna like." He was shouting at her through the door, like, or she was shouting at him, like, "Go away!" You'd be like, "You're gonna die if you stay here." Like, there's a 8-foot tall woman that's gonna try to breastfeed you. Like, you need to leave.
And I feel like he said something to the I thought he said something to that effect, but it was so aggressive.
I thought it was just like, "Hey, young lady."
He was like, "Hey, young lady, like, get out of here." But he didn't. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just say like, "Get out or you're gonna die."
Yeah,
he was like,
"Get out, leave." Yeah.
Which I remember making a note of this. I hated that so much because I hate it when that happens in horror movies, like in really any movie in general, when like it's written to be so intentionally vague, but. I understand, like, willing suspension of disbelief, but, like, typically, if this man wanted to communicate something, he could have just used his words.
Right.
Like, dude could have said, "Hey, it's not safe in there." But he said it in such an aggressive manner that, like, he had no sense of, like, how his demeanor was coming off to her and how she could, like, have mistaken his approach. And he never, like, changed his tune.
Or
like,
came back.
Or came back to say anything.
like you could have easily come back later and be like, "I'm sorry, I probably came off a little bit like crazy."
Yeah.
There's an 8-foot tall, super strong, scary woman in that basement, and she will kill you if you stay in here.
Yes.
But like, it's like he yelled like, "Hey, get out! Get out of there!" And then like she like closed the door and he just, "Oh, well, she did." Back to the homeless camp.
If I was trying to communicate to somebody that they were in danger of being in a house, that is like the last thing, like bottom of my list, my approach. I would be like, "Hey, you want to probably leave," and then we would leave it at that. Like,
but I guess you couldn't have a scary movie.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the thing is like it had to be like a red hair, and it kind of felt like he was also, I guess, trying to make a statement. Which, to your point about the police officer. That I didn't care for that either because it did seem like, well, one, she had just gotten out of the tunnel, so she looked a little disheveled, and he's making this assumption, "Oh, you're just," and so maybe he's making this statement of, "Well, the police don't care about displaced people and things like that." But the thing is like the core of the movie was not centered around that theme, and there was not enough time spent on it in order for that to be a thread that you spent 10 minutes on, with like this cop being like, hey, back up, I gotta go somewhere else, this is more important, what are you doing in this neighborhood, look at you. And it's like, okay, well, what is ultimately the statement that you're trying to make? And if there is one, then that needs time to develop so that it actually has impact.
Like it genuine that seems so annoying to me, because it genuinely felt like the script called them and told them, you don't have to be here anymore, get on out of here. Because they were literally just sitting there like, lady, you're wasting our time. And then like the thing went off and they're like, oh yeah, cop, all right, well, we gotta go. So like, I get that in horror movies, cops typically are very useless in them, unless like a cop is one of the characters that is like enthralled and like brought into it. But like usually like, and I think that's because maybe in horror movies a cop would solve so many of them so quickly, like especially in like slasher films and things like that. Like the person with the gun would more than likely like stop the movie pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So they have to make them like useless in order to like create that powerlessness that happens in horror movies. But they didn't need it. They were already like, that lady is 4 feet taller than them and super strong. There was already powerlessness.
Yeah.
They didn't need the cop to add to that.
Mm-hmm. It was like Goku in the Universal Tournament saga going up against any one of like the super like underling people that got knocked out in episode 1 of that tournament, dude. Like that mother was insane. Juggernaut daughter? JD?
JDM.
Well, it's interesting. First time we did that, and we all came to about the same conclusion.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. Look at how cohesive we are.
Have been friends this long for nothing. Thank you guys for listening in on another episode of Panharmonicon Studios presents
A podcast.
If you guys can for us, I know we said it at the beginning, but it bears repeating here. If you can like the video, if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Either way, like I said before, constructive criticism, that would kick my ass there for a second, is greatly appreciated. It helps us know what direction we should be taking this. Otherwise, you're just going to get a group of yappers just yapping to infinity. But if you can steer our yapping in a direction that you might like, perhaps you might start yapping too.
Any attention is good attention.
Yeah.
We will act out in class.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to like pull a Johnny Somali or whatever the dude's name is and oh, I can be an asshole and people will look at me.
I would hope not. I'd hope you guys don't fall down that road either. But like I said, like if you do like, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Please comment. Sharing is caring. If you like what you heard here and you think others might like it as well, please share this. Guys on Spotify, feel free to drop a rating. They can be 1, they can be 5. Sadly, it can't be 0.5s like we just gave, but we'll take anything regardless. And definitely feel free to comment. I know we don't give you guys enough love when we're on here, but as the person that does run the Spotify account, I do pay a lot of attention to that side of things, and I'd like to be able to hear from you guys and give you talk back with you. And above all, if you are subscribed, please hit that notification bell. I know you probably hear that on every single YouTube video that you see, but there's a reason we all say it, and it's because the YouTube algorithm is an unknown beast, unless you're Mr. Beast and are the algorithm. But otherwise, what happens is we just don't know when you might see when our video comes out. We put them out consistently, really pretty much at the same time, but we don't know when you see it. So if you can hit that notification, it'll let you know when we put it out. That way you can get it as early as possible. And it allows you to just kind of put it on while you're at work and just hear some dudes yapping about movies and life. Or if you're on your way to school, on your way to brunch, whatever.
Brunch.
I like brunch.
Mimosas.
I do like brunch too.
Yeah, brunches.
Oh my god.
Brunch
How do you guys feel about
like the top?
Dunch? Or
Whoa.
other, like, combinations?
Oh.
Like Leonard.
Yes, Leonard. Leckfish.
I think at this point I actually just do dinner. I don't think I do true dinner anymore.
But is
Not
there
a supper?
I'm sorry. Does Leonard come with his own specific set of like recipes and dishes? Like,
I
would it
feel
not
like
just-
Leonard is more of a time thing.
Yeah, it's
Whereas
Okay.
brunch is
millennial
like
space.
now has its like actual like, because brunch used to just be like that breakfast during like lunchtime, but then it
Yeah,
got its
now
own
it's
like,
like 11
actual like
a.m.
restaurant menu type thing, right?
Oh wow.
You know
So
what? Leonard needs that.
Leonard needs his
Leonard
own.
needs that. There needs to be like maybe like grilled cheese sandwiches,
Whoa.
or maybe like some type of like light sub or light salads or something like that.
Like a light pasta or something.
Yeah,
even?
like because
Yeah.
it shouldn't be a heavy option the way that like dinner is, but like it's like a light lunch that leans its way into like that dinner slot, right?
a light lunch that leans.
Leonard.
Leonard, man.
Shout out with your shout out in the comments your favorite Leonard recipe.
And also, don't take that idea about official Leonard.
Oh, don't.
We trade that.
Yeah.
Mark that
Yeah, let's
already,
go ahead and
actually.
trademark that. Panharmonicon Studios presents Leonard.
We said it out loud, so it's our trademark. Thanks.
Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner. Oh Lord.
But
Freebird.
this has been Damon,
This is Farron.
And this is Andrew.
and thank you guys for listening in.
To whatever that was at the end there.
Yeah. Catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Again, don't take that idea.